So this little X represents non-religious people. There's no way to describe them. It's just a little X. So non-religious people. These are the people that just say, well, I believe in the universe, or I believe in a higher power, but... And they'll say something else. There's always that but, right? There's always like, I believe this, but... There's always that just but. And they always, then after the but, it's usually some excuse for why they don't go to church, okay? So it's, I believe in God, but, and then excuse for why they don't go to church. And they've got something, and it's always some jingle, like I don't know, they've got some like catchphrase that they've heard a few times from their parent or from somebody they knew. And so there's always some catchphrase after it or something like that, like, well, you don't have to go to church to be a good person, or you can find good things in other ways, or, like some kind of phrase that they always repeat, right? Yes, exactly.
If I walked in the church, the roof would cave.
Yeah.
That's like their excuse. I might get hurt,
So they'll try to justify why they don't go to church and, why they don't go deeper into truth. So we want to just get under that superficial layer of guardedness to bring them closer to God. And a lot of times just some discussion questions, things they haven't been asked before. Things like what's God's purpose for the church? Is it going to make your life better? Or helping them acknowledge their sins. Have you sinned before? Let's look at the 10 Commandments. Have you lied? Have you cheated? Have you stole? Have you looked at somebody else who's not your spouse with lust? Things like that. You can bust anybody on like at least 4 or 5 of the 10 Commandments, right? Helping them to acknowledge that we all need forgiveness. We all have sin. We all need forgiveness. We all need this relationship with God. You can ask them what truth looks like, what truth is, and and compare that to Jesus. And people they don't get asked these sorts of questions. They don't get probed to think deeper, and that's kind of like usually something you're just nudging them closer, making them think. And eventually those nudges will hopefully get them where they need to be with God, and get them, at least nudge them closer to God in a conversation with a believer.
Seed planting.
Yeah, it's seed planting. Exactly. Yep.
Sometimes I think they're afraid to know truth. They might be scared.
Well, people are afraid to change.
They know where they're at better than anybody else.
Yeah. And sometimes they don't acknowledge it, or sometimes they do, But if they don't, we want to help them acknowledge it. And, some people just say, well, I'm not ready to change. And some people say, I don't think I need to change. And, it's like not being ready to change is fear, and not acknowledging that you need to change is pride. So either way, you've got issues that can be dealt with, Either way, you're maintaining this intention of wanting to bring people around you closer to God. And sometimes just those probing questions, those basic conversation starters can help nudge people along. You want to go along nudging people with you closer to God, right?